Hello and welcome guys to my channel Winspire. Today we are gonna learn about stakeholder management, which is one of the most essential tasks during project management. So in this video today, what we will do is we will learn about how to identify and analyze stakeholders and how to document and record them while you are doing your project management. Also, before starting today's video, I want to share that I have made 45 minutes course on project management, which is a kind of beginner's guide to project management, which I have shared on Skillshare. I have put link in the description below if you are interested in project management and if you want to establish your career as a project manager, then that video is a must for you. So please open the link below and go through the course if you are interested. All right, let's get started. The stakeholders are those people who care about the success of your project and who also has a stake on your project. They could be sponsors, they could be customers, they could be team members, and they could be line managers. It's very important to know your stakeholders based on their influence on the project and based on how much they are influenced by the project and also based on their interest in the project. By knowing and understanding those stakeholders, you will be able to establish the relationship with them and you will be able to direct them, delegate them, or ask them while running your project. So while analyzing the stakeholders, you can follow the approach I am going to mention here. Let's draw a graph. So let's say this is x-axis and let's say this is y-axis. In x-axis, it will be the stakeholders' influence on the project, whereas here we will write influenced by the project. So level of the influence on project, if it is here it will be high, if it is here it will be low. And how much they are influenced by the project, if it is here low, if it is here high. So if the stakeholder falls on this area, that means that stakeholder will have high influence on the project, but that stakeholder will not be influenced by the project too much. So they are less influenced by the project. Whereas if the stakeholder falls on this section, that stakeholder has very high influence on the project and that stakeholder is also highly influenced by the success of the project. Whereas if the stakeholder falls on this section, the level of the influence of that stakeholder on the project is low, whereas they are also influenced less by the project. And if the stakeholder falls on this section, their level of influence on the project is low, but they are highly influenced by the success of the project. For example, in any company, if you are working in a food manufacturing company, owner of the company will fall here. The owner of the company will have high influence on the project, but if the project is unsuccessful, that may have less influence on that owner because that is a multi-million-dollar company. And if there is a unsuccessful project which is, let's say, 500,000, then that may not impact a lot to that owner. And also it could be managing director of that company. If it is a governmental project, then governments are sponsors, so government could be in this section. And in this section, those stakeholders, their influence is high on the project and also they are influenced highly by the project. So they are the core project team. So for example, if you are working in a food manufacturing company where you are going to develop new product, then let's say R&D manager will be in this category, and also let's say production manager will be in this category. So these are the group of stakeholders who have high influence on the project, because without them you can't complete the project, and also they care about the success of the project, because if the project is unsuccessful, it is going to impact them. And in this section, they have low level of influence on the project, but they are highly influenced by the success of the project. They are the team members or production staff, because ultimately they are the one who are going to produce the product. If you are working in a food manufacturing industry and your project is developing new type of biscuit, then those are the team members. They are going to produce the biscuit, and they do not have a lot of say on the project. But if the project is unsuccessful or if the project gets hampered, then they are highly influenced by that. And there is one group of section which do not have any influence on the project and which do not get affected by the project. So those could be, let's say, IT staff. They are usually helping you in setting up computer or in setting up network and in solving your problems related to IT, but they are not influenced by your project because they are from the separate department and they are not really the part of the project. So basically, while managing stakeholders, what you need to do is, to this group, you will need to give them confidence. That you are going to successfully complete the project. And to this group, you will need to monitor them. Without them, you are not going to complete the project. So you will need to monitor them whether they are working on their task or not. And to this group of people, you will need to educate them, because ultimately they are the one who are going to produce the product for you. So you will need to educate them on how to do that, because without that knowledge, they are not able to produce that product for you. And to this group of stakeholders, you can basically ignore them, because although they might help you time and again in several areas, but they are not really necessary for the success of your project, and you can choose to ignore them, because without them also you can successfully complete the project. Now I'm going to share you my screen where I have developed a template for a stakeholder analysis document which you can use while managing your stakeholders. So this is the stakeholder analysis template, guys, which I have prepared for you using Excel spreadsheet. You can write your project name here and you can follow this table here as shown in the screen. And also, as I discussed earlier, always use this approach to analyze your stakeholders. Again, to repeat, in this section, the stakeholders have high influence on the project and not much influenced by the project. And in this section, stakeholders are highly influenced by the project and have high influence on the project. And in this section, they do not have high influence on the project but are highly influenced by the project. And these stakeholders, they are less influenced by the project and have no influence or low influence on the project. And for this section, you need to give them confidence. You need to monitor these stakeholders, you need to educate these stakeholders, and you need to ignore these stakeholders. So this is the approach you should use. You should always give confidence to these stakeholders, you should always monitor these stakeholders, you should always educate these stakeholders, and you should always, or if possible, ignore these stakeholders. And this is the table you can use to document your stakeholder analysis. So for example, name could be, let's say, Mike, and department is, let's say, quality, and the position is, let's say, QA manager. And you can also write stakeholders manager, let's say Dan. Sometimes you need Dan because you can discuss with Dan to know the characteristics of Mike and also you can learn how to deal with Mike. Some people can be difficult to talk to, so you can talk to their managers to know about those persons. And also you can write what is the objective of that person, objective of Mike on your project, to assure quality of the product. So that could be the objective. And what is the influence of Mike? Let's say high, and maybe he falls in this section. And then what is the contribution of Mike? Contribution of Mike is to develop specifications of let's say product, ABC product. So that is his contributions, and then you can save this document in your project folder. I hope you liked the content of today's video. If you like the content, please feel free to put down your comments down below in the comment section, and also feel free to share this video so that others can benefit from it. And also please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. I'll see you again in next video. Until then, bye. Thank you.